Hello everyone, so I've got a cute little idea to share with you today for a different way of using some of the supplies I've received in the Your Creative Studio boxes. These are on this lovely little piece of metal just to kind of show that they're magnets. So I've made some glass magnets and there's a bit of glare. This one is, I don't remember which box that's from. I'd have to look it up, but it was probably a year ago. And then this, a little bit more recent, was from some butterfly papers that came in a box. And then this one and this one here, I believe were from June, possibly. I might have to look that up. Oh, this one's from June. These two are from June, the butterflies. And then these were the Your Creative Studio papers before they changed to the different format. This was one of my favorite papers in a previous box. And so, of course, I had to find a way to make it into the magnet. And then we have this butterfly one, which I will show you. I have right here the scrap that it came from. So you remember those papers? That's that punch right there. So let's use the latest supply box and see if we can find something to make a beautiful little magnet out of. And I will show you what you need before we get into the making process. You'll want something to protect your surface. This is some palette paper I had, but matte, silicone matte, anything, scrap paper. Now for these magnets, I have used these flat glass marbles. I do believe that these I purchased a while ago at Dollar Tree. They're not the best because some of them are like flawed, we should say. You know, they're not perfect, and then they're in this container where they kind of can scratch each other. However, they are probably the most affordable option. I did find some really nice ones that are probably, I think they're the same size, if not a little larger. You're gonna want the large ones. These are, well, let's just show you. These ones are a little over 1 inch and they kind of vary in size, but they had them at Michael's, the craft store, and they probably, you know, any other craft stores, they were more like $5, but then you can maybe use a coupon or whatever, but they had them packaged better. I haven't seen them in person. I was just looking online at other options. But yeah, you'll need those. And then I am using, for this project, I'm just using Podge. This is a gloss, but they have a variety of different finishes. Some strong adhesive. I'm using some Gorilla Super Glue. And some strong magnets, which of course I used pretty much all of mine. And I had, this is just a mint tin, but it holds magnets lovely. So I have a bunch of different ones. Now these ones are not strong enough. These ones can hold the glass and some light papers, but if you want to hold something heavier you'll need a more stronger magnet. So for a lot of them I've put like this super strong magnet where that one can hold, it's got some metal debris on it, thick cardstock to a metal surface. So it depends on how you want it, but definitely you want to get something that will at least hold the weight of the glass marble and the paper or whatever you're adhering it to. I hope I didn't forget any supplies. Let's get to making it. So we've got the papers from the August 2024 box. These are those double-sided 6x6 papers. And what I like to do with the glass marble, excuse me, is kind of look at like interview the paper so you can see what would show through. Let me get a little closer so you can see. So you hold it up, ooh, do I like that? And that's a great thing about the glass. And then you can decide how to cut it out from that point on. I have this 1.5 inch punch that's a little bit bigger, but I do like using that, and sometimes I use a 1 1/4. It's a little bit smaller sometimes, so it depends on your preference, but I like to punch it out and have it to work with, and I will show you in the process. But when I use this larger one, once I'm done Mod Podging and it's dry, I just trim off the excess. So let's keep on looking here. Oh, I like that one, but I trimmed it off. I might like some books, but it doesn't, it's kind of cutting off the image. You also want to find images that are small enough. Ooh, I do like this one. I think I might go with this one. And another thing to remember is you can use pretty much anything. The lightweight stuff works best, but magazines, stickers, scrapbook paper, think outside the box. Even if there was an image on packaging, if it's thin enough, if it's thicker, it might not do as well with the Mod Podge adhering it on, and you might be adding weight. But yeah, there's a plenty. Oh, tissue paper, napkins, lots of things. Vellum, and with tissue paper, napkins, and vellum, you may want to use like a white cardstock or something, or even printer paper on the back, just for the opacity, because we're going to be putting a magnet on the back, and if you don't like to see it, you'd want to consider that. Alright, so now some of this is going to get trimmed off, but I kind of I like the stem, so I think I'm going to go and punch that. Just committed to that. And so here I will show you what I mean by it doesn't cover the whole thing, but it works pretty well that way. I have you need a brush too. I didn't even think about that. Or something to get your Mod Podge onto the surface. And I'm going to need to get some new saran wrap to protect mine for when I'm not using it. Now for Mod Podge application, I like to paint the paper and the surface and stick them together. So let's get a nice amount of glue on both surfaces. And for these glass magnets, I found it easier to take the magnet and just plop it down where I wanted it. And then press it down. And then, you know, if you're making a bunch, it's move on to the next one, because the next step is wait for it to dry. Of course, we'll skip that part in the video and move on to the next step through the magic of video. Well, it's dry enough to handle now, and so at this point we need to put some more Mod Podge on the back side of the paper. And I usually like to do 2 coats. You know, let one dry fully and then go in with another one and let it fully dry, and then we can trim it off, trim the excess off, because I will try to pick this up and show you. There's quite a bit of excess, but I'm just going to use some, whoops, not a pencil, some shears to trim it off when it is fully dry, which is going to be a while. So here we go, one more coat, and then a long pause, which won't be so long for you, thankfully. Alright, so now the second coat, I have done a second coat, and it's dry, and we have a little bit of overhang. I have some paper snippers here that I'm just going to go around and trim off as evenly as I can, that excess. And again, I'm not very good at perfection. I'm not really aiming for it either, but I do want to kind of round the edges a little. If I can get the corners, that kind of the ragged, uneven ones, then I can trim them off. And the nice thing, whoops, nice thing about this paper, with it being double-sided, it's nicer than that white backer. So then I have my Gorilla Super Glue, which I really hope doesn't dry out on me. Oh no, did I glue the cap shut? No. Sometimes, you know, it'll be a bit before I use it again. And age-old problem, it dries out. Okay, oh, and I better hurry. I've got my strong magnet. I was wiping off the nozzle to try not to glue the nozzle to it. Got a little bit of excess there, but oh, and also I got another owie from a neighborhood cat, so now I have a new Band-Aid. But you want to protect yourself, you know, if you've got gloves, that's handy, because especially with super glue, it is going to bond to your skin. I'm a little bit relaxed on that, I guess. You know, I got a little extra around the edge seeping out, but it says it bonds instantly, and it almost does. Pretty close to instant, so let me see if I can show you. I'm picking it up by the magnet, and I think it's pretty much bonded. So I'm not going to get too close to my lens with this giant strong magnet, but I should bring back something metal so I can show you how it sticks. Let's grab my little Eiffel Tower and make some room for our newest addition. It doesn't sit perfectly flat unless you have it right there, because it's kind of, you know, a dimensional magnet. Ooh, but it has a very lovely magnetic. This is a really strong one. So this one can attach something more than just, let me move this, more than just, you know, a thin paper. Let's find something thicker. Set that aside. How about one of these envelopes? Let's see if we can adhere that. Okay, clearly it's not staying without the magnet, but look at it with the magnet. Yeah! That's so awesome. I love it when a thing comes together. So that is the idea today. I hope you thought it was super fun and easy as well. And if you've never tried it, hopefully now you feel like you can. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Don't miss any of this content. And have a wonderful and creative day.